Alright, so welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff. Today's video, we're having a look at something a little bit different, something I'm pretty excited about for this year. Um, as you can see from the name of the team, I'm calling it the Bulldog Project. Um, as I've discussed previously, I'm a Bulldogs tragic. It's been a few hard years for myself and the boys. But, things are looking up. Definitely the second half of last season was promising. We've got Seraldo, we've got Marnie. No, sorry, yeah, Marnie. I'll get it right the second time. Kick out, a couple of weapons in the side on top of what we already built. You got Crichton, New coming next year. It's good times ahead. But what I thought of doing was creating a team which essentially starts with all Bulldogs. So if we have a look at the team, if for some reason it didn't save, that's a bit flat. But that's right, we can do it live. Super simple. We just filter teams and select the Bulldogs. And then we add them in. So Marnie, New Brown, the two hookers. Um, so we'll go Max King, Luke Thompson, Patolo, Pele at the front row. Not too sure about these boys. Kick out, Pangai, Waddell, Fatala, Mariner, Davey, Sutton in the second row there. I would like to have Depine there as well somewhere. I might finesse that in a second. We'll see if we can bin. Flanagan, Biondi-Odo at 5'8", for halfback. Only two options at 5'8", so we're going to lock both of them in. Burton's not going to really move though. Madhice is there in case of emergency. And then the centre wings are Kiraz, Adokar, Burns, Parham, Ockenbaugh, Alamati, and we'll go Skelton. I've had a little bit more hype about him than Samrani. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. And again, fullback's nice and easy because there's only two options. So I guess the only debate from the first one is, can we squeeze Jackson to Pine in? I mean, we've got all the budget in the world, so I think we certainly can. Can either move Sutton, or which we probably will. So add to Pine in there. And we'll add Sutton. Franklin Pele, 26%. If he does get a run, he's going to feature somewhere in the 17. But I guess this is a good opportunity to sort of work out how the Dogs will play. Actually, got to save the team first, don't I, so I don't lose it all. Alright, so obviously Marnie's going to start at hooker. Max King could be starting at 13. Luke Thompson will definitely be a front row starter. Ryan Sutton will feature somewhere, so he's on there. I should say New Brown will be off the bench as that utility type lad. Fatala Marin will probably start, so let's swap him with Waddell. Patolo, he'd be the second front row, wouldn't he? And then probably Waddell seems to be popular. Well, to be fair, he was with the old coach. We'll see with the new coaching staff. Personally, probably have Tapine, but not the coach. And then they're my four reserves, so the back line, Flanagan, Burton, pretty sensible there. Addo Carr on the left, Carraz on the right, so the wings are sorted. Centres, well, Torquay's Parent will play fullback, Avril will play centre, so they'll probably have to swap at some point. But they might also both be traded by then. And then the left centre, I suppose, is probably going to be Braden Burns. It'd be great if it was Alamati. Skelton has an outside shout. So that'll be the team as it lines up for round one. I guess then the challenge is to try and get a team in time for their first bye, or full team, so that when their first bye comes in round 13, we've actually got a team. So I guess just for today, what we'll look at is a couple of thoughts around, initial trading. Obviously, that will strategy will change just depending on how things flow through the season. But we've got $1 million to spend as well, so we've got to take all that into consideration. So the first thing I would think, the first round, you get 2 trades plus perhaps a boost. That's the other thing. Do we use all the boosts early to filter out all the players that aren't as worthwhile having, or do we save the trades, knowing that we do have till round 13, so you do have 26 trades that you could do, so definitely enough time to filter through the squad. At the moment, I am sort of thinking it will be a few boosts to try and get out as quickly as possible, as well as grabbing those cash cows, because then that's the next decision. You know, you've only got a limited amount of trades. Do you go for guns or do you chase value? Yeah, so I guess initially what I'm thinking, looking through the squad, so, you know, Marnie, solid, but New Brown, being a bench forward, is potentially going to lose some value. So here's one that's definitely on the trading block sooner rather than later. The front rows I'm not too fussed about. You know, they're all solid. You know, Patai's probably worth that based on his career so far. The back row, you know, if this was the starting back row, I'd be super keen on that. You know, kick out for Tyler Barron on the edges. Pankai playing 13. It's more likely going to be Sutton. But, yeah, like I said, I'm hoping he's as fit as he looked with the boxing and whatnot. So that'll be, you know, trying to alleviate this cash. Definitely Waddell and Davey, I think, are a bit overvalued, so they'd be sort of trade out options. I think Flanagan might be one of the first ones to go. Obviously, you know, clearing Hines, 2 guns, and the halves. I mean, you know, you could go the balls out method and just go straight to them, perhaps. Let's see if we got the cash. Not quite. About 80 grand short. That's okay. So you'd have to make a decision on one of them, which is a big call early on. I know a lot of people out of those two would opt towards clearing. So maybe, you know, Hines becomes a bit more of a pod. Can't see myself going there at Cleary for too long though. So maybe that's even a week 2 type trade. Or it might be a boost to get them both in, plus, you know, someone who looks like they're going to rocket up in value. 5'8", obviously Burton's going to stay. Maddie, he'd be a non-playing rookie or enough. Enough. So, yeah, they're probably not going to change too much. Maybe, you know, if I can, you know, someone like Joshy Schuster looks like he's going to blow up at the start, I'll slide him in. Well, he'll probably fit in the second row, to be fair. So, yeah, can't see that changing too much. Maybe Katoa, the young Redcliffe player, would be ideal for that spot once he gets a go. Because I definitely can't see Maddie getting a run. You know, 6 would be beyond the Odo or Averillo. I would have thought would slot in there if Burton was missing. So then the centre wing, you know, like, well, Parham's going to probably make some money, so he's a decent one to hold on to for a while. There's Adokar and Karaz, you know, they'll score tries and do bits from time to time. These guys are obviously cheap, so they can stay for a while. But Braden Burns might be another one that's not long for this world. And then also, you know, Averill, if he's in the centres, he might not go up too much. So another position where you want to get those guns in as soon as possible. So I guess perhaps what it could look like is Flanagan, Averillo out. Actually, let's see if we can do it. Cleary and Tedesco in. There you go. Boom. And then, you know, the third one could be someone that's off to an absolute flyer. Chase that quick cash if we wanted to use a boost. Right, but we'll just put our boys back in. Yeah, so I think that'll be the plan for the first after round one is to try and get Tedesco, Cleary in. And then round two would definitely be boosting, looking at those cash cows. So hopefully, the options of getting rid of the likes of Waddell, Davey, New Brown. I know I've talked about a couple of bits of value there at the hooker position. Um, yeah, but there's definitely a lot of water to go under the bridge before we explore all that. So I think that's all that needs to be said at this point. Other than I think it's something a bit different. I did envisage a league where everyone sort of had a similar vibe and started with their own teams, but that was a bit rough on Dragon supporters in particular, not being able to put up a team for round one of the season. So yeah, so the Bulldogs just happened to work out well for that purpose. So I thought we'll give it a go. Something to talk about, something different to what you see with usually everyone just posting their teams and going for overall glory. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe, all that usual deal. And thanks for watching.